Click here to subscribe our channel. Do not forget to press the bell icon to get regular updates of free videos.
I hope you all are doing well in this lockdown period and pandemic. So this batch will be a unique batch. Partly this class will be I will be conducting from home, and whenever this lockdown will get over, we'll be continuing with the same batch in an offline class as well. So those students who have joined in the offline batch, for the time being they are attending this class online. Whenever there will be permission from the government, we will be conducting class offline as well. So this class is being recorded at home, so I hope you understand. Now first of all, we will be discussing the syllabus part. So on first page you can write down briefly the content. Although entire content and syllabus has been uploaded there also, and you can find it on UPSC website as well. But as you know, optional paper 1, this paper 1 will have 5 subparts. So in paper 1 there will be advanced microeconomics. In that advanced micro there will be 4 subpart: Marshallian and Walrasian approach to price determination, alternative distribution theories, market structure, which include monopolistic, duopoly and oligopoly, and then welfare economics. So in fact 4 subparts has been mentioned, but just remember one thing: there is one written part of syllabus and some unwritten part as well. That means you will be getting question outside from this part which has not been mentioned. Like for example, in market structure they write monopolistic competition, duopoly and oligopoly, but question will be from monopoly also, question will be from perfect competition as well. Question will be in this micro from maybe from consumer theory also. Some question could be from production and cost also, although not written in this syllabus. Again, in the advanced macro part, mainly it is classical and Keynesian, but question will also be from inflation and unemployment, Okun's law, design of monetary policy. So just remember one part, जो कंटेंट यहाँ mentioned है वो आपको कॉपी करनी है, जो अनरिटन पार्ट है वो एक्स्ट्रा क्लास के फॉर्म में भी ऐड किए जाएंगे. मतलब ये नहीं कि जो सिलेबस में मेंशनड है आपको सिर्फ वही पढ़ना है, जो अनरिटन पार्ट है वो भी क्लास के अंदर कवर किया जाएगा. सो विल बी डिटरमाइनिंग दैट outer boundary based upon the past year question. So you can write in paper 1, paper 1 topic 1 will be advanced micro, and in advanced micro there are 4 subparts. हर सब पार्ट को किस बुक से रेफ़र करना है वो एक टेस्ट सीरीज़ वाला शेड्यूल होगा, वो अपलोडेड है साइट पे, आप वहाँ से उसमें देख सकते हैं. जो टेस्ट सीरीज़ का कंटेंट होगा अपलोडेड ऑप्शनल के लिए, उसमें हर टेस्ट सीरीज़ के जो फर्स्ट से सेकंड टेस्ट थर्ड से टेस्ट के कंटेंट के नीचे, जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल you can see in this test number 1, market structure, monopolistic, oligopoly and duopoly. For that purpose you have to read chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 13 from Kutsanis. In macro, classical and ISLM, classical from Freund 3 and 4 and ISLM from chapter 3, 4, 5 and 7, Dormus and Fisher. तो ये हर सिलेबस हर टेस्ट के नीचे वो मेंशन्ड है कि किस टॉपिक को आपको किस बुक से रेफ़र करना है, बट यू डोंट हैव टू बाई एनी बुक. मोस्टली लाइक कुट्सियानिस, फ्रॉयड, डॉर्मुस एंड फिशर, इन सब का ज़ीरोक्स जो चैप्टर यहाँ मेंशन्ड है, इन सब का ज़ीरोक्स आपको स्टडी मटेरियल के फॉर्म में प्रोवाइड होगा. ठीक है, वो कुरियर पे भी जाएगा और आप चाहेंगे तो सॉफ्ट में भी अवेलेबल होगा. तो ये बुक आपको इसमें बाई नहीं करनी है, यू हैव टू बाई ओनली फ्यू बुक्स. ठीक है, वो कंटेंट में जैसे जैसे आता जाता है मैं एक्सप्लेन करता जाऊँगा. सो इन माइक्रो देर आर 4 पार्ट्स, आफ्टर दैट will be macro. Rough weightage you can say approximately 5 or 7 questions, like for example in the market micro part. Micro include market structure, micro include Marshallian valuation, welfare, and so on. So round about 6 to 7 parts, including 6 to 7 sub part, I say. Weightage of around you can say 90 to 100 marks. 90 to 100 मार्क्स का वेटेज इनफैक्ट माइक्रो का रहेगा, मतलब अराउंड 6 टू 7 क्वेश्चन आपको माइक्रो वाले सेक्शन से मिलेंगे. मैक्रो, क्लासिकल, ISLM समटाइम्स वेटेज आर इक्वल, बट मार्जिनली मैक्रो का कंटेंट थोड़ा कम रहता है, तो अराउंड 80 टू 90 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन आपको टॉपिक वाइज पोर्टल पे अवेलेबल मिल जाएगा. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल शो advanced microeconomics. Topic is market structure. In market structure last year, that is 2019 question 1 2 3 4 5, ये 5 क्वेश्चन आपको 2019 में मतलब लास्ट ईयर के मेंस के अंदर है. तो 5 क्वेश्चन ओनली फ्रॉम मार्केट, प्लस यू विल ऐड वेलफेयर, देन यू विल ऐड मार्शिलियन एंड वॉल्यूशन एंड ऑल्टरनेटिव डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन थियरीज. तो ये 1 2 3 4 एंड 5 क्वेश्चन मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर के हैं. तो कोई 10 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है, कोई 15 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, तो अगर आप 5 क्वेश्चन भी ले रहे हैं तो अराउंड 60-70 मार्क्स तो मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर के हैं. क्वेश्चन कभी कभी आप देखेंगे तो ये प्रेडिक्टेबल भी रहता है, मतलब रिपीटेटिव है. सो इट इज़ नॉट दैट एवरी ईयर दे विल बी यू विल फाइंड अ न्यू क्वेश्चन. इस तरीके के टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चन सारे अपलोडेड है. जितने भी सब टॉपिक यहाँ माइक्रो के लिखे गए हैं या मैक्रो के अंदर मेंशन है, इंटरनेशनल के या ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट के, इवन फॉर पेपर 2, ऑल टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चन आर सेपरेटेड. सो जब आप प्रिपरेशन या स्टडी मटेरियल के फॉर्म में लिख रहे हैं उसे कंटेंट के फॉर्म में, तो लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आपने एक माइक्रो का स्पायरल अगर बनाया है, सो इन दैट स्पायरल जस्ट कॉपी और पेस्ट दिस टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चन एंड यू हैव टू फॉलो इनफैक्ट डेली आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस एज वेल. जैसे एग्जांपल के लिए आज की क्लास के अंदर मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर बिगिन करेंगे माइक्रो में. बेस्ड अपॉन दैट मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर इफ आई से यू कैन अटेम्प्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू बेसिकली, आफ्टर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द क्लास एंड कंटेंट, यू हैव टू राइट इट एन आंसर फॉर्मेट. ठीक है, आंसर फॉर्मेट में लिखना है. आंसर फॉर्मेट का मतलब है यूपीएससी का जो आंसर शीट होगा, इस आंसर शीट के ऊपर आपको लिखना है. ठीक है, ये ब्लैंक शीट वहाँ भी आंसर के फॉर्मेट में मिलेगा आंसर शीट. क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे आप मेंशन कर देंगे एंड जस्ट टेक बोथ साइड टू राइट वन क्वेश्चन. बोथ साइड 10 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है तो 1.5 साइड विल बी इनफ. 15 या 20 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, यू कैन राइट बोथ साइड. बोथ साइड मीन्स अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 150-200 वर्ड्स हो जाते हैं. सो एवरी डे एटलीस्ट अटेम्प्ट और राइट 2 क्वेश्चन फॉर प्रैक्टिस. एंड if you are doing it consistently for a month or 2 month, और जब तक ये कोर्स चलता है लेटर से 4 months, इनफ नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चन आपने प्रैक्टिस कर लिया होगा. और दीज आर इन एडिशन टू योर टेस्ट. ठीक है, तो जो टेस्ट सीरीज़ है उसमें 12 टेस्ट इंक्लूडेड है. हर टेस्ट के अंदर अराउंड 28 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, 19 आपको अटैम्प्ट करने होते हैं. तो अगर आप 19 जो क्वेश्चन अटैम्प्ट कर रहे हैं, अगर ऑल 12 क्वेश्चन को भी अगर आप काउंट करते हैं तो ये मोर देन 200 क्वेश्चन वैसे है. और अगर यानी इफ़ यू आर अटेम्प्टिंग ऑल 28 क्वेश्चन देन इट इज़ इन एक्सेस ऑफ अराउंड 350. सो डेली आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस भी करनी है. क्वेश्चन आपको टॉपिक वाइज सेपरेटेड मिल रहा है. कंटेंट वाइज विल बी स्टार्टिंग विद द माइक्रो, आफ्टर दैट मैक्रो, बट इट इज़ नॉट लाइक दैट. Once we will be finishing entire micro, then I will be switching to macro, because it will become very monotonous. So what I will be doing is that, for example, if I start with this micro market structure third, it will be taking approximately around, let us say, 10 classes. Then I will switch over to macro. Next 10 class will be for macro. Then again I will return to micro for welfare. Again switch over to macro, then return to Marshallian valuation, distribution theories. This micro and macro and money, this third part, will be part of your section A. क्वेश्चन पेपर के अंदर याद रखेंगे 2 सेक्शन है. सो सेक्शन ए फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी कंपल्सरी, रिमेनिंग 3 क्वेश्चन और होंगे. सेक्शन बी which mainly include international economics and growth and development, again in that section first question will be compulsory and there will be remaining 3 questions, and in total you have to attempt 5 questions including at least 1 question from each section. So दोनों ही सेक्शन में 1 क्वेश्चन कंपल्सरी है. सो यू हैव टू चूज क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 here and question number 5 here. Then question number 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Now you have to choose at least 1 from each section. For example, suppose you choose question number 3 here and question number 7 here. Now you are free to choose 1 question from any section. Got it? So each section will have 4 questions. First question will be compulsory, second section will have first question compulsory, and you have to choose again 1 question at least. The third sub part will be money, banking and finance. मनी, बैंकिंग एंड फाइनेंस, यूजुअली ये 3 टॉपिक सेक्शन ए के होते हैं बट रिजिडली फॉलो नहीं होते. मतलब सेक्शन ए के अंदर भी आपको ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट के क्वेश्चन मिल जाएंगे और सेक्शन बी के अंदर भी माइक्रो मैक्रो के क्वेश्चन मिल जाते हैं. रिजिडली फॉलो नहीं होता बट ब्रॉडली वी कैन से माइक्रो एंड मैक्रो आर कंटेंट फॉर सेक्शन ए. एंड section B is international economics. इंटरनेशनल इकोनॉमिक्स को भी आप 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. 1 पार्ट विल बी ऑल थियरीज. सो ऑल विल बी थियरीज ऑफ इंटरनेशनल ट्रेड, एंड सेकेंड पार्ट विल बी बैलेंस ऑफ पेमेंट एंड फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मार्केट. Theories of trade and foreign exchange market. Preferably theories of trade you should be referring from Paul Krugman, International Economics by Paul Krugman, and that balance of payment and foreign exchange market you can refer from Salvatore. ठीक है, कंबाइन करें तो ज़्यादा बेटर है. Recently there are some question which you can easily handle from Paul Krugman, and conventionally Salvatore की बुक इंटरनेशनल में ज़्यादा पॉपुलर है. एक सिंगल बुक पे भी रिलाई कर सकते हैं बट आई विल सजेस्ट टू सप्लीमेंट सैल्वाटोर एंड पॉल क्रूगमैन. ठीक है, सैल्वाटोर की बुक आप बाई करके रखेंगे. जो पॉल क्रूगमैन के मेन चैप्टर्स है वो आपको स्टडी मटेरियल के फॉर्म में मिलेगा. एंड 5th सेक्शन इज ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट. ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट अगेन वेटेज यहाँ पे भी अराउंड 100 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन और ये 100 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन होता है. मतलब सिंपल है यार, 8 क्वेश्चन इन टोटल है, हर क्वेश्चन 50 नंबर के है. मतलब 400 मार्क्स का पेपर सेट होता है. यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट 250. 400 मार्क्स का पेपर है, यू आर अटेम्प्टिंग बेसिकली 250. सो जो वेटेज में यहाँ लिख रहा हूँ वो 400 मार्क्स के अकॉर्डिंगली है. सो अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 100 मार्क्स माइक्रो, 80-90 मार्क्स हेयर, 3 or 4 sub parts in money and banking, then 100 marks international, 100 marks approximately growth and development. In growth and development you can refer ML Jingan, but you have to supplement ML Jingan with other book as well. तो जो rest content होगा वो study material में included है. Keep ML Jingan and Salvatore, these 2 book, rest you will be getting through study material. Clear? So this is in fact paper 1. तो सोर्स पहले डिफाइन कर लेना है. प्लस सोर्स में एक और पॉइंट ये कि इफ़ यू आर रेफरिंग HL आहूजा, नो प्रॉब्लम, यू कैन रेफर टू HL आहूजा, बट वो बहुत रिपीटेटिव है. सो प्राइमरीली यू शुड बी रेफरिंग टू दीज बुक्स, एंड देन इफ़ यू वांट टू रिपीट और इफ़ यू वांट टू कवर मोर देन यू कैन गो बाय HL आहूजा एज वेल. या अगर आपको प्राइमरी सोर्स कभी कभी स्टूडेंट को नहीं पता होता है तो सिंगल सोर्स के लिए HL आहूजा की बुक भी पढ़ रहा है. बट देयर आर ऑलवेज सप्लीमेंट करना होगा. इट इज़ नॉट दैट आइदर और यू कैन गो HL आहूजा और दिस. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल एक्सप्लेन. इन मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर मोनोपोलिस्टिक कंपटीशन, चैम्बरलिन मॉडल मोस्ट बहुत पॉपुलर क्वेश्चन है, कई बार आया हुआ है. तो कोट्सानस का बुक अगर आप रेफ़र करते हैं, उस चैप्टर को पढ़ते हैं, देन इट एक्सप्लेन मॉडल ए, मॉडल बी, मॉडल सी, वो प्राइस कंपटीशन, नॉन प्राइस कंपटीशन सेपरेटली एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है. दैट सेपरेट डिस्क्रिप्शन इज मिसिंग इन एच एल आहूजा. वैसे कुछ कंटेंट ऐसे हैं जो एच एल आहूजा में आपको मिल जाएंगे, रेस्ट कोर बुक के अंदर नहीं मिल रहे. सो यू हैव टू इंटेलिजेंटली सप्लीमेंट. So you can keep HL Ahoja for micro and macro, but for international and growth and development, you have to rely on Salvatore, Paul Krugman, and ML Jingen. So this is the content for paper 1 and paper 2. I will divide broadly paper 2 into 3 parts. Syllabus के अंदर भी वो 2 parts में divided है, but preferably इस आप इसे 3 part में divide कर लीजिए. One part will be pre-independence. So it is mainly economic history of India. So it is pre-independence. For that pre-independence, if you want to refer a book, it is a SSM देसाई. ठीक है, ये शॉर्ट बुक है, काफ़ी हैंडी बुक है. प्री इंडिपेंडेंस, अगर आप वो पार्ट इकोनॉमिक हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया, बुक टाइटल इज इकोनॉमिक हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडिया, अगर आप उस बुक को रेफ़र कर लेते हैं तो ये कंटेंट कवर हो जाता है. पास्ट में 1 और 2 क्वेश्चन यूजुअली पूछे जाते थे, बट फ्रॉम यू कैन से लास्ट 2-3 ईयर यू विल फाइंड अराउंड 5 to 6 पार्ट्स. तो रिलेटिवली ग्रेटर वेटेज है, सो यू कांट इग्नोर नाउ. So one part will be pre-independence, then post-independence और since independence. Since independence में भी 2 division हो गया. One will be pre-reform. तो pre-reform, so 1947 to 1991 period, and other is post-reform, so since 1991. बट यहाँ अप्रोच पेपर 2 के अंदर ये करना है. इस फॉर्मेट डिवीज़न तो सिलेबस का है, बट फॉर यू इट विल बी बेटर इफ यू टेक वन टॉपिक एज प्री इंडिपेंडेंस, देन स्टडी इकोनॉमी सेक्टर वाइज. सेक्टर वाइज मीन्स टेक वन सेक्टर एज एग्रीकल्चर, और एग्रीकल्चर के टॉपिक को आप प्री रिफॉर्म और पोस्ट रिफॉर्म दोनों एरिया में एक साथ कवर करेंगे. इस एग्रीकल्चर के अंदर सेपरेट टॉपिक्स हो जाएंगे, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल एग्रीकल्चर परफॉर्मेंस, green revolution, agriculture price policy. So you have to list those topics, and for each topic you will be referring one important article from economic and political weekly. That selected article will be provided to you in that material. ठीक है, मटेरियल आपको इस फॉर्म में हमेशा माइक्रो या मैक्रो के मिलेंगे. ये डिफरेंट स्पायरल्स होंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल शो वन. सो दिस optional micro content, micro will be mainly including the chapters from Kotsanis जो additional है. वैसे मैक्रो के स्पायरल होंगे, ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट के हैं, इंटरनेशनल के हैं, पेपर 2 के अंदर एग्रीकल्चर के, इंडस्ट्री के होंगे. So one section will be this agriculture. Similarly divide or make second section as industry. अब एग्रीकल्चर के जितने भी क्वेश्चन हैं, वो जैसे मैंने टॉपिक वाइज क्वेश्चन मार्केट का दिखाया, वैसे ही एग्रीकल्चर के सारे क्वेश्चन एक जगह सेपरेट किए हुए हैं. जब आप एग्रीकल्चर का कंटेंट प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं, सो आफ्टर रीडिंग द इम्पॉर्टेंट सोर्सेज जस्ट गो थ्रू द क्वेश्चंस विच टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन हैव बीन आस्क्ड. अगर कोई कंटेंट उसमें इंक्लूड नहीं हो रहा है तो उसके लिए मटेरियल आपको सर्च कर लेंगे. सिमिलरली इंडस्ट्री है तो इंडस्ट्रियल परफॉर्मेंस, पब्लिक सेक्टर, डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट, इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी, दोज टॉपिक्स यू हैव टू लिस्ट. You will get a clue once you will go through the questions, all questions from industry. Then related to the policy part, monetary policy and fiscal policy. Another area could be banking. Next area could be external sector, foreign exchange, management, balance of payment. So paper 2 I have divided in 10 parts sector wise: agriculture, industry, services, monetary policy and fiscal policy, then banking, foreign exchange, composition, recent programs, current. So all has been divided broadly in 10 different parts. So in paper 2 you have to rely on EPW articles mainly, and if you are buying any book You can keep one SSM Desai, another Uma Kapila, बट उमा कापिला में भी एक्चुअल में ईपीडब्ल्यू के आर्टिकल्स ही है, एडिटेड बुक है वो, तो ईपीडब्ल्यू आर्टिकल्स ही है. एंड इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन सम इजी रीडिंग देन मिश्रा एंड पुरी, या आंसर के फॉर्मेट में क्लियर होगा. सो इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर सम इजी बुक देन इट इज मिश्रा एंड पुरी. उमा कापिला will be slightly technical as it contains mainly EPW article. So you can go by Uma Kapila also, or you can go by Mishra and Puri. So three sources: SSM Desai for pre-independence, and for pre-reform and post-reform period you can go by Mishra Puri or Uma Kapila. But apart from that you have to refer newspaper as well. Every day जो इकोनॉमिक रिलेटेड आर्टिकल है वो रेफ़र करना और सप्लीमेंट करना, बिकॉज अपग्रेडेशन यहाँ रिक्वायर्ड होगा. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल एक्सप्लेन. सपोज यू रीड एनी टॉपिक ऑफ डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट फ्रॉम आइदर उमा कपिला और मिशापुरी, एंड इफ यू फाइंड सम आर्टिकल रिलेटेड टू डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट देन यूज दैट कंटेंट एंड ट्राई टू राइट द मेन एस्पेक्ट. जहाँ भी आपने कंटेंट वहाँ लिख रखा है डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट का, प्रिपेयर राइट एट दैट पॉइंट. सो जितने भी टॉपिक हैं उसको आपको एक जगह लिस्ट कर लेना है. और प्रेफरेबली द आइडियल वे विल बी, जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल एक्सप्लेन. सपोज you are preparing content for agriculture performance, so you have written agriculture performance on one page. Main facts you have written since 1947, how agriculture performance has changed, what were the reason for uptrend and downtrend, what were the agriculture policy, and so on. So if you have written on one page, just keep one page blank. That blank page will be used for upgradation. So when you read any new article, if you find some new points, just copy those points separately here. So that will be the process in paper 2. Now division of class, mainly paper 1 will be consuming 70% of your time. So 70% means approx 70 odd classes out of 110 will be for paper 1, and paper 2 rest 30%. ये टाइम का डिवीज़न है क्लास के लिए भी, और आप भी जब आप खुद पढ़ोगे तो भी आप when you divide it you will find that 70% of your time will be spent on paper 1 and rest 30% time you can manage paper 2. And the class from Monday to Friday, so in a week 5 class, and I said approximately 100 plus classes. 100 plus classes, that means 20 class in a month, so 4.5 months, maximum 5 months you will be able to complete the syllabus, paper 1 as well as paper 2. पेपर 2 का जो अपग्रेडेशन होगा वो सर्वे के बाद होगा. तो जब फरवरी मार्च में इकोनॉमिक सर्वे और बजट आ जाएगा तो इस पेपर 2 का अपग्रेडेशन की जो क्लासेस होंगी वो आपको उस समय भी अवेलेबल कराई जाएंगी. एंड वन मोर थिंग बिफोर आई स्टार्ट द कंटेंट, दोज स्टूडेंट्स हु डू नॉट हैव एनी इकोनॉमिक्स बैकग्राउंड, ठीक है, जिनका बैकग्राउंड ग्रेजुएशन लेवल पे नहीं है, फॉर देम ऑल्सो आई एम taking a separate class for just foundation. So if you go through those classes, you will be able to cover, or you can make your foundation strong. Foundation, like what do you mean by elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply, market mechanism, production cost, what is indifference curve, consumer equilibrium, some concept of micro, some concept of macro. So those topics I am taking separately, so you can contact at reception also how to access that class also. But mainly this class will be for economics option. तो जिनका background है उनके लिए वो class ज़्यादा relevant या useful नहीं होगी, but जिनका background नहीं है they will find it very useful. So if you go by those classes and then continue, although I will be taking care of here also, I will be explaining all the basic points which will be involved while explaining the content. So now we can start with the content part. And in content, just maintain separate spiral. So if you are taking micro, then write all micro concept in one spiral. micro topic in one spiral. For macro, maintain separate. For growth and development, maintain separate. For international, separate. So it is advanced micro. You can note down the subtopics which are mentioned. So first part is Marshallian and Walrasian approach. Then alternative distribution theory. Alternative distribution theory, as a syllabus says, it is a Ricardo, Caldor and Keleski, but there are other distribution theories as well. So we'll be covering all. Third is market structure. Market structure will include perfect competition, monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic, all. And fourth is welfare. So it is welfare economics. And approximately, as I said, more than 100 marks question will be from micro, 90 to 100 at least. Now in this we are starting with the market structure, but again I repeat, there are something which are not mentioned in syllabus, like production, cost, consumer theory, market failure, expense market but not expense market failure. So market failure के भी क्वेश्चन 2016 ऑनवर्ड्स देखे जा रहे हैं, तो इसके अंदर और भी कंटेंट आप ऐड करेंगे. इफ़ यू वांट टू राइट एक्स्ट्रा करके आप इसमें ऐड कर सकते हो. दैट विल बी एडिंग फॉर एक्स्ट्रा क्लासेस, but those extra classes will be covered at the end. So first we will be covering the syllabus which is mentioned, and then we will be taking classes for production, cost, consumer theory, market failure, and so on. Clear? So this is the content for micro, and I will be starting with market structures. So you can write the first topic as market structure. It is not linear, से फॉर्मेट इन करना जरूरी नहीं है. इसमें ये इम्पोर्टेंस के अकॉर्डिंगली भी है. एज you can see there was 5 assess question from market in the last year, means 1 2 3 4 5. So as per priority or content wise, start with the topic of market structure. So you can write from the next page, market structure. See, the classification of market in economics is product wise. We are not discussing about a marketplace where various types of commodities are being sold. Since it is part of microeconomics, so micro deals with unit. So if I am saying market structure, I am referring to, let us say, market for pen, market for visualizer, market for a screen. So these are separate market. And the division of market is mainly on the presence of number of seller. Like for example, if there is only one seller, you call it monopoly. If there will be 2 seller, you will call it duopoly. If there are many sellers producing differentiated product, you call it monopolistic. If there are many sellers producing homogeneous product, the market is competitive. That means the division of market is based upon number of seller. But don't lose the focus. When I say market, I am not referring to the marketplace. It is market for a particular type of product. That product is being produced by many sellers. Now those sellers may be producing same pen, may be producing differentiated pen, but the product must be very close substitute of each other. So based upon that, you divide market structure mainly into 4 parts. 1, perfect competition. So perfect competition market will have certain features. I will be explaining those features. But one keyword, in a perfectly competitive market there are many firms and many firms are producing identical products. So in the market there are many firms, but all firms are producing same product, identical in all respect. Then if a market is characterized by only one seller, you call it monopoly. So monopoly market will have certain characteristics. Then it will be monopolistic. So in a monopolistic competition there will be element of monopoly also, and there will be element of competition also. Element of competition will come because there are large number of sellers, and the element of monopoly will come because they are not producing identical product, they are producing slightly differentiated product. So the monopolistic competition will have element of monopoly. Past old question के अंदर भी एक क्वेश्चन आप देखेंगे, what are the element of monopoly and what are the element of competition in monopolistic competition market. ठीक है, recent past के अंदर भी क्वेश्चन है इस फॉर्म पे, we will find that question in topic wise. So it will have element of competition as well as element of monopoly. So there will be certain features in monopolistic competition, and the fourth market will be oligopoly. So in that oligopoly market, oligo means few, mono means one, dio is two, and oligo means few sellers. So few को quantify नहीं करना है, more than one but not large in number, few, more than one but not large in number, but they may be producing identical product also, or they may be producing differentiated product also. Oligopoly में product homogeneous भी हो सकता है, मतलब same भी हो सकते हैं और अलग अलग भी हो सकते हैं. So perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly. So these are four different form of market, and we are referring to goods market here. Remember, ये product का market है. वैसे ही market factor के भी होते हैं, but जब market structure यहाँ पढ़ रहे हैं तो हम product को refer कर रहे हैं. So we are referring basically to the product market. So in that product market, there could be many seller. In the same market there could be only one seller, there could be many seller producing differentiated product, or there could be only few seller in market. Exactly अगर दो ही seller हुए, then market you call it duopoly. Clear? So you have to refer all form of market. कंटेंट के अकॉर्डिंगली वेटेज ज़्यादा ओलिगोपोली का, ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन ओलिगोपोली और मोनोपोलिस्टिक से आते हैं, बट वन और टू क्वेश्चन विल फाइंड फ्रॉम मोनोपोली एंड कंपटीशन एज वेल. Now before starting any form of market there are some basic things. ठीक है, तो अगर इकोनॉमिक्स बैकग्राउंड आपका नहीं भी है तो उस बेसिक को पहले आप ध्यान दीजिएगा, और अगर आपने पहले कर रखा है तो जस्ट उसे रिपीट कर लेते हैं. सो इन एनी फॉर्म ऑफ मार्केट two important decision has to be taken by firm. Remember, when I say market, then market consists of many firms. If market consists of only one firm, then it is monopoly market. If market consists of many firms producing similar good, then it is competitive market. If a market consists of many firms producing differentiated good, then it is monopolistic market. So in any form of market, two important decision has to be taken by firm. One important decision is how much output it should produce and at what price it must be sold. Output and price. मतलब अगर आप रेफ़र करें पेन मार्केट के लिए, तो पेन का जो प्रोड्यूसर है उसे डिसाइड करना है कि उसे पेन की कितनी क्वांटिटी प्रोड्यूस करनी है, एंड एट व्हाट प्राइस इट मस्ट बी सोल्ड. सो टू इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन हैज टू बी टेकन. One is output, second is price, and we assume that the objective of any firm in any market is to maximize their own profit. That is our assumption. Objective could be other, but we are assuming that the objective of any firm in market is to maximize their profit. So how much quantity they will produce if they want to maximize their profit. So for that purpose, profit maximizing condition. That profit maximizing condition will remain same whether you are referring to competitive market or monopoly market or monopolistic market or oligopoly market. So I repeat, in any form of market, two decision has to be taken primarily: how much output to be produced and at what price it must be sold. So we are referring to output and price determination. the quantity that firm will produce with a motive of maximizing its own profit. So we are referring to profit maximizing condition. So write some basic points. Some basics you can note. First point, when I say profit here, so profit is difference between revenue and cost, difference of revenue and cost. And revenue means how much is the total, like for example a firm has produced 10 pen, price of each pen is 20 rupees, so its revenue will be 200 rupees. So how to calculate? Price multiplied by quantity, that will be the total revenue. And what will be the cost? Cost means how much is the cost involved in producing that commodity. That cost may be material cost, fixed cost, variable cost. So clubbing all, you call it total cost. But broadly remember, cost will have two parts. One will be fixed. Fixed means you have to incur that cost independent of how much quantity you produce. And other will be the variable. So variable means it will vary according to the output. So if you produce more output, it will be more. If you produce less, it will be less. So profit को symbolically pi के symbol से denote कर रहे हैं. So profit is total revenue minus total cost. So I write here total revenue minus total cost. Total revenue minus total cost. साइड में कुछ important point यहाँ लिख लेंगे. When I say total revenue, it is price multiplied by quantity. When I say average, so average is always what? Per unit. So per unit means divide total with quantity. But if you divide that total with quantity, what you will get? Total is P into Q divided by Q. So Q will cancel out, which means average is always equal to price. So just remember that. Average revenue is always equal to price. So total revenue is price multiplied by quantity, average revenue is price, and other important concept in economics is marginal. So whenever you use the word marginal, marginal means additional. So if I say marginal revenue, it means additional revenue. If I say marginal cost, it means additional cost. Marginal product, additional product. Marginal utility, additional utility. Additional means change. So marginal revenue means change in total revenue due to change in quantity. और इसी को अगर आप मैथ्स के फॉर्म में अप्लाई करते हैं तो ये डिफ्रेंसिएशन हो गया. बट चेंज जैसे डी वाई बाई डी एस आप कर रहे हैं तो ये डिफ्रेंसिएशन ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू है विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू क्वांटिटी. आइदर यू कैन राइट इट इन दिस फॉर्म और यू कैन राइट इट इन दिस फॉर्म. तो टोटल को डिफ्रेंशिएट करने पे क्या आएगा? मार्जिनल. टोटल को जब आप डिफ्रेंशिएट करते हैं तो मार्जिनल आ जाएगा. मैथमेटिकली वो मार्जिनल कंसेप्ट हो गया. तो मार्जिनल इज चेंज इन टोटल रेवेन्यू ड्यू टू चेंज इन क्वांटिटी. वैसे जब मैं मार्जिनल कॉस्ट कहूँगा तो इसका मतलब कंसेप्ट को जनरलाइज करना है. मार्जिनल मीन्स एडिशनल. सो मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज चेंज इन टोटल कॉस्ट ड्यू टू चेंज इन क्वांटिटी, और यू कैन से डिफ्रेंशिएशन ऑफ टोटल कॉस्ट with respect to quantity. So total is price multiplied by quantity, average is TR divided by Q, average revenue is always equal to price, and marginal revenue is differentiation of total revenue with respect to quantity. So profit is total revenue minus total cost. Now अगर प्रॉफिट को मैक्सिमाइज करना है, तो अगर किसी भी फंक्शन को आपको मैक्सिमाइज़ करना है तो मैक्सिमाइज़ करने के लिए मैथमेटिकली उसका फर्स्ट डिफ्रेंशिएशन ज़ीरो आना चाहिए और सेकंड डिफ्रेंशिएशन नेगेटिव आना चाहिए. शो नहीं करना है कहीं पे, वो जो एंड रिजल्ट आएगा उसको आपको सिर्फ याद रखना है. बट आई विल एक्सप्लेन बिकॉज यू आर राइटिंग इन अ नोट फॉर्म. तो जहाँ जहाँ ऐसे नोट लिखेंगे इसको टेक्निकल नोट के फॉर्म में लिखें तो ज़्यादा बेटर है. टेक्निकल नोट मीन्स आपके रजिस्टर में तो वो है बट आपको आंसर शीट में वो लिखनी नहीं है. Got it? आप नोटबुक में लिख रहे हैं उसको, बट आंसर शीट में ऐसे प्रेजेंट नहीं करना है। आंसर शीट में कैसे करना है वो मैं एक्सप्लेन करूँगा, मतलब क्या लिखना है एक्चुअल में वहाँ पे आप। तो प्रॉफिट इज टोटल रेवेन्यू माइनस टोटल कॉस्ट है, इसे मैक्सिमाइज करना है, और मैक्सिमाइज करने के लिए फर्स्ट डिफ्रेंसिएशन 0, सेकंड नेगेटिव होना चाहिए। तो मैंने डिफ्रेंशिएट किया प्रॉफिट के फंक्शन को विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू क्वांटिटी, तो ये टोटल रेवेन्यू का डिफ्रेंशिएशन क्वांटिटी के रिस्पेक्ट में, और टोटल कॉस्ट का डिफ्रेंशिएशन क्वांटिटी के रिस्पेक्ट में इक्वेट कर दिया 0 से। और यहाँ इस रफ नोट को देखिएगा, टोटल रेवेन्यू को डिफ्रेंशिएट करने पे क्या आना है, मार्जिनल आएगा। तो इस टर्म का मतलब हो गया मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू, इस टर्म का मतलब हो गया मार्जिनल कॉस्ट। सो एम आर माइनस एम सी इक्वल टू 0, विच मीन्स एम आर मस्ट बी इक्वल टू एम सी। तो आपको बस ये कंडीशन याद रखना है, यू हैव टू रिमेंबर ओनली दिस कंडीशन, that profit of firm get maximized when MR is equal to MC. So how much quantity firm will produce? Firm will always produce that much quantity where its profit get maximized, and its profit get maximized where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Clear? So first condition is that MR must be equal to MC. But as you know, first differentiation 0 and second differentiation should be negative. So second differentiation means now I have differentiate MR and differentiate MC, and this must be negative. किसी भी फंक्शन को अगर आप डिफ्रेंशिएट करते हैं तो ग्राफिक ज्योमेट्रिकली आप उसका स्लोप फाइंड करते हैं। तो जब मैं टोटल को डिफ्रेंशिएट करूंगा तो आई विल गेट स्लोप ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू। सो स्लोप ऑफ टोटल रेवेन्यू इज मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू, स्लोप ऑफ टोटल कॉस्ट इज मार्जिनल कॉस्ट। सो व्हेन आई डिफ्रेंशिएट मार्जिनल आई विल गेट स्लोप ऑफ मार्जिनल। सो द सेकंड कंडीशन इज डेरिवेटिव ऑफ एम आर माइनस डेरिवेटिव ऑफ एम सी शुड बी नेगेटिव, मतलब ये नेगेटिव वाला नंबर ग्रेटर होना चाहिए। सो यू राइट स्लोप ऑफ एम सी शुड बी ग्रेटर देन स्लोप ऑफ मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू। तो आपने ये नोट नंबर 1 लिखा है, बट इससे जो आपको कैरी फॉरवर्ड करना है कंसेप्ट, वो जो यहाँ बॉक्स में मैंने कर दिया वो लिखना है। Profit of firm get maximized when two conditions are satisfied: MR equal to MC and slope of MC greater than slope of MR. Just remember these two equations. Profit get maximized when MR equal to MC and slope of MC is greater than the slope of marginal revenue. That's it. ऐसे रफ नोटिंग को रजिस्टर में लिखना है, बट पेपर में कोई क्वेश्चन अगर आ रहा है तो डोंट राइट इन दैट फॉर्म, जस्ट यू हैव टू राइट दैट profit of firm get maximized when following conditions are satisfied. First, MR is equal to MC, and second, slope of MC greater than slope of MR. Clear? So this is your technical note number 1. Now move to technical note number 2. Technical note number 2, again write the equation for profit. And as you know, profit is revenue minus cost. Clear? To find total revenue, it is price multiplied by quantity. So I write or use a pi symbol for profit. So profit is P into Q minus total cost. And as we explained, just this price is always equal to average revenue. So you can write average revenue into quantity minus. So just you calculate total revenue by multiplying average with quantity. You can find total cost by multiplying average cost with quantity. So profit could be written as, if you take that quantity common, average revenue minus average cost into quantity. So profit equation is AR minus AC into Q. To calculate this quantity, we will use the first equation. ठीक है, जो नोट नंबर 1 में लिखा है, MR equal to MC. So when you equate marginal revenue with marginal cost, you will get this quantity. But the term in bracket can be 0. It can be positive or it can be negative also. So there are 3 possibilities. Number 1, if average revenue will be equal to average cost, and always remember average revenue in place of price है, मतलब price equal to average cost हो गया. So if average revenue is equal to average cost, then this number will be 0. So no profit, no loss. no profit no loss is known as a break even point. So this is break even condition, neither profit nor loss. But if average revenue is greater than average cost, AR is greater than AC, then there is profit. So any amount of positive profit is greater than normal profit, so you call it super normal profit, or you can use word excess profit. एबनॉर्मल प्रॉफिट भी कहीं कहीं लिखते हैं. दैट मीन्स जब ब्रेक इवन की बात हो रही है तो ब्रेक इवन में हमने नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट को इंक्लूड किया है. नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट इज पार्ट ऑफ कॉस्ट. और यहाँ पे कन्फ्यूज़न जो फर्स्ट टाइम इकोनॉमिक्स पढ़ रहे हैं उनके लिए हो सकता है कि वाई यू आर कॉलिंग नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट व्हेन आई से नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस. जस्ट फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन वी एक्सप्लेन एनी कॉस्ट, तो कॉस्ट का मतलब होता है जो फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन हमने यूज़ किए उनको जो हमने पे किया वो कॉस्ट हो गया. तो फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन क्या यूज़ करते हैं? लेबर, लैंड, कैपिटल, एंटरप्रेन्योर. सपोज यू पे टू लेबर वेज 50, to land you will pay rent, to capital you pay interest, and to entrepreneur you pay profit. So if I take the total, then the total will be the total cost. If revenue is also 200, then you will say that there is no profit no loss. But remember, even in that no profit no loss, this 50 is profit included. So that is normal rate of return you have to give to the entrepreneur. So that normal rate of return is basically normal profit. But if revenue is more than 200, who will keep that additional? The entrepreneur will keep that addition, because entrepreneur is organizing the production process. So that will be considered as abnormal or excess profit. Clear? So if average revenue is equal to average cost, there will be break even point which include normal profit. If average is greater than average cost, it is supernormal profit or abnormal profit. Third point is very crucial. It says if average revenue is less than average cost. So if AR is less than AC, this term will become negative. But negative profit means there is loss. Now question is, if there is loss for a firm, what will be the behavior of firm? If there is loss for a firm, what will be the behavior of that firm? In loss condition, firm may continue to produce or firm may shut down also, and that will depend upon, within loss two possibilities are there. One, firm may continue despite loss. So obviously you will say, why firm will continue despite loss? Reason is, if firm will shut down the production, there will be greater loss. So it is better to continue despite loss. That means you have to bear loss in both conditions. If you discontinue, then also there is loss. If you continue, then there is loss. But if you continue, the loss is less. So in the condition of loss, two possibilities. Firm may continue to operate, and second, firm may shut down the production. So firm may continue to operate or firm may shut down the production. When firm will continue? When price is greater than average variable cost. इस पॉइंट को हमेशा क्लियर रखेंगे. When P is greater than ABC, then firm will continue to operate. I will elaborate this point further. And when firm will shut down? When price is less than average variable cost. So when price will be less than average variable cost, firm will prefer to close down the business. When price is greater than average variable cost, firm will continue despite loss. And the reason is, in order to operate, firm must have operating profit. ऑपरेट करने के लिए फर्म के पास ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट होना जरूरी होता है. एंड दिस कंसेप्ट ऑफ ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम दिस प्रॉफिट. नॉर्मली प्रॉफिट, व्हेन यू कैलकुलेट प्रॉफिट, TR minus TC, but when you calculate operating profit, that is total revenue minus total variable cost only. You subtract only the variable cost, not the fixed cost. तो अगर if I say that operating profit is there, which means this number will be positive, but it will be positive only when TR is greater than TVC. In order to have operating profit, positive operating profit, TR will be greater than total variable cost. And if you divide both sides with quantity, what you will get? Total revenue divided by quantity is average revenue. And as I said, average revenue is nothing but price. And total variable cost divided by quantity is average variable cost. Clear? तो जब price greater than average variable cost होगा, then there will be operating profit. Since firm is having operating profit, so firm will operate. So obviously when price will be less than AVC, there will be operating loss. Operate करने में loss हो रहा है, so better not to operate and better to shut down. So firm will shut down if price is less than average variable cost. Firm will continue to operate if price is greater than average variable cost. Remember this concept is universal, मतलब ये हर मार्केट में अप्लाई करना है, नॉट स्पेसिफिकली रिलेटेड टू कंपटीशन और मोनोपोली और मोनोपोलिस्टिक और ओलिगोपोली. In any form of market, firm will operate only if firm is having operating profit, and that operating profit requires price will be or must be greater than average variable cost. So I repeat this point because it is very important for market structure. Profit is difference of revenue and cost, and revenue is price into quantity. In place of price you have written AR, so it is AR minus AC into quantity. You will get this quantity by equating MR with MC because that is profit maximizing condition. If average revenue is equal to average cost at that quantity, there is only normal profit, you can call it break even point. If AR is greater than AC, there is supernormal profit. If AR is less than AC, then there is loss, and in loss two condition may exist or prevail. Firm may continue or firm may shut down the business. It will shut down the business if price is less than ABC. It will continue to operate if price is greater than average variable cost. So just remember one thing, firm operates in market only when firm is having operating profit. ठीक है, तो ये concept आपको throughout the market follow करना है. In all form of market you have to follow this concept. So this was technical note number 2. Now using these two concepts, I hope we can understand or proceed with the main content for market, so that you can attempt few questions as well. Now you can start with the first form of market, which is a perfect competition. Although syllabus के अंदर ये mention नहीं है, but market structure you must be starting with perfect competition. Chapter number 5 you will find in questions. So जो study material होगा उसमें chapter number 5 market structure. If you have this study material of micro study material will basically start with perfect competition. Straight away chapter number 5 from questions. ठीक है, you don't have to go through entire. If you have time you should go. That means you should be reading the book, but just follow few basic things here. When I say this market, perfect competition market, it is characterized by certain important features, and one feature is large number of sellers. ठीक है, मैं important जो feature है वो मैं explain कर रहा हूँ. No one is asking what are the features of perfect competition. The question will be different. So first feature is large number of sellers. So when I say large number of sellers, seller का मतलब हो गया firms. So in a market, and again I repeat, market means here market for a product. So in a market for a product, there are many sellers. So there are many sellers in a market, and significance of this large number of sellers is that one single seller cannot affect the market price. उसके पास कोई monopoly power नहीं है. So if a firm do not have any monopoly power, a firm will accept the price which is determined by the market, and now it implies in this form. In a market, so market, when I say market, there are many sellers and many buyers. In a market, price is determined by the market forces, and market forces means demand and supply forces. So their intersection determine the market price, and right side I am writing for a firm. So remember, this is the market consisting of large number of firm, and this is one firm. Suppose in this market there is one firm X. So now I am writing for this firm X. That single firm X do not have any control over the market price. Suppose this price comes out to be 10. So for this single firm, price will remain same, and at that same price firm can sell more quantity. It can sell 1 unit, it can sell second unit, it can sell third unit. So it can sell as much unit as it has at the same market price. So for a single firm, what is the implication? Total revenue for that single firm is price multiplied by quantity. So 10 into 1 into 2 into 3. If you calculate average, then what is average? Average, I said, total revenue by quantity. So 10 by 1, 20 by 2, 30 by 3. So it will be always equal to price. And what is the concept of marginal revenue? Marginal means change, additional. So how much is addition to total revenue? Addition to total revenue every time is also equal to 10, which means price equal to AR equal to MR. So this market price is also the line of average revenue. It is also the line for marginal revenue. So under perfect competition for single firm, you have to keep that price constant. But ये constant price कहाँ से determine हुआ है? It is determined from the market forces. So once market price will change, you can change it. But if market is not changing, but market price, when market price can change? Market price can change either when demand curve is shifting or supply curve is shifting. So for a single firm, market price remains same, and at that same price firm can sell as much quantity as it can. तो आपको ये फीचर तो याद रखना है, बट फीचर का इम्प्लीकेशन ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इफ देयर आर लार्ज नंबर ऑफ सेलर इन मार्केट, so for a single seller it has no control over market price. Price is set by the market, and at that price firm can sell as much quantity as it can. So perfect competition का price, AR और MR ये तीनों equal होते हैं. This is your first important feature. Now second important feature of this market is that all firms are producing a homogeneous product. All firms are producing homogeneous product. So in a market there are many firms, but all are producing identical product, which means consumer cannot differentiate between the product produced by one firm and the product produced by the other firm. So all, now implication of this is that no seller can charge different price. If any seller will charge a higher price, the consumer know that the product produced by all firms are identical. So if the product produced by all firms are identical, then all firms must be charging identical price only. The firms can charge different price only when they are producing different product in terms of quality or in terms of brand. But in the product perfect competition market, all firms are producing. So whenever I say homogeneous product, firms cannot charge different price. All firm must be charging the same price. And third feature of this market is free entry and exit. Free entry and exit means in this market new firms are free to enter and firms are free to leave from that market. Firms are free to enter and firms are free to leave from the market. So suppose if there is supernormal profit, so when there will be supernormal profit, basic point में रेफर करेंगे, price greater than average cost अगर आता है तो supernormal profit है. So when there will be supernormal profit, more firms will enter into the market. But if more firms will enter into the market, what will be the effect on market price? ये हमने supply और demand curve के intersection से price लिया है. If more firms will enter in market, the supply curve will shift to the right because number of firms in market increases. So when price will fall, and it will continue to fall, so that supernormal profit get eliminated. And in the case of loss, what will happen? In the case of loss, price is less than AC. So if there is loss, firm will exit from the market. So as firm will exit, supply curve will shift to the left and price will start rising. So entry and exit basically ensure that in long run price is always just equal to average cost. So it is the feature of free entry and exit which guarantees that in long run all firm will be earning only normal profit. So they could be earning super normal profit, they could be making loss, but only in the short run, not in the long run. Short run long run का difference भी है कि short run और long run, short run में firms cannot leave the market, firms cannot enter the market, but in over a period of time, that is long run, firms, new firms can enter into the market and existing firms can leave the market. So this entry and exit is very much a property of long run, not a property of short run. These are the three important features. Perfect competition के और भी feature है उस chapter के अंदर explain है, but these are the three important feature that will be used. So perfect competition market characterized by large number of sellers. It is characterized by homogeneous product. It is characterized by free entry and exit, no interference from government, no taxation, no subsidies, perfect knowledge, perfect information. So these are the features of perfect competition market, but primarily ये तीन feature को याद रखेंगे. So यहाँ तक जो concept अभी explain किया वो आपका market को understand करने के लिए basic points हो गए. So just I will recap. In note number 1 you have written that profit is difference of revenue and cost. And what is the profit maximizing condition? Profit maximizing condition is, ignore that technicality, profit maximizing condition require that MR must be equal to MC and slope of MC must be greater than slope of MR. So by equating that MR with MC you will get profit maximizing quantity, output. But once you are able to determine this quantity, whether there is profit or loss, that will depend upon whether average revenue is greater than average cost or average revenue is less than average cost. So profit is AR minus AC into quantity. If average revenue equal to average cost, there will be break even point. If AR is greater than AC, there will be supernormal profit. Third point is more important. If AR is less than AC, which means it is negative. So if AR is less than AC, then there will be loss, and in loss firm may continue to operate or firm may shut down the business, and that will depend upon whether price is more than variable cost or price is less than variable cost. यहाँ पे एक और addition, you can add one more point. If I say price less than ABC, it is shut down. So if you are asking what is shutdown price, shutdown price is not just price less than ABC. Shutdown price, because ABC is not a constant number, it changes for every unit, different unit. So actually shutdown price is the minimum point of average variable cost. Average variable cost का जो minimum point होगा, at that point whatever be the price, you can call that price as shutdown price. Like for example, if I draw average variable cost in this form U shape, so its minimum point, this price will be considered as the shutdown price. So shutdown price is equal to what? Minimum of average variable cost. Minimum of average variable cost is the shutdown price. So these were the basic things. Now based upon that basic, you can start with the first topic. First question wise, you can write it in this form: price, output, determination. Still we are continuing with the perfect competition market. Price, output, determination, and that is price, output, determination according in a perfect competition market. Based upon this part, there was one question. I will show that question, but first explain that concept. Price, output, determination of firm under perfect competition. This is perfect competition. So there are two approach. One approach is total revenue and total cost approach, TR and TC approach, and second approach is marginal revenue and marginal cost approach, MR and MC approach. So one by one. First is total revenue and total cost approach. So profit is the difference of revenue and cost. In that first approach we are using only total revenue and total cost. Now if you draw it or plot it graphically, I write here total revenue and total cost on vertical axis. On horizontal axis write down quantity. Stepwise, for the timing ignore that MR and MC, that will be taking after that. First is TR and TC approach. Step 1 पे ध्यान देंगे. First is total revenue. I explained total revenue is price into quantity. Remember, these are the graph for not market. These are graph for one particular firm in market. And just explain, firm is acting as a price taker. Firm do not have any control over the price. So for a particular firm, the price is constant. So just for example, जैसे ग्राफ में लिखा था price was 10. So it is 10 into, now if it is quantity is 1, it will be 10. If quantity is 2, it will be 20, 30, 40. That means there will be a linear relationship. So as quantity will increase, revenue will also increase, but it will increase in a linear manner. So it will be a straight line. So why you are drawing it a straight line? Total revenue is drawn a straight line because price is constant. So it is not always be the case. Remember, as market will change, the concept can change also. But in perfect competition market, total revenue is a straight line starting from origin. Origin, because if there will be no sales, there will be no revenue. So first is total revenue curve. Now second is total cost curve. Now cost, you have to divide it into two parts. One part is fixed cost, and fixed cost means those costs which do not depend upon output, like for example say rental. So it does not depend whether you produce more quantity or less quantity, the amount of rent will remain same. So even if quantity will be 0, there will be some fixed cost. So you are adding your fixed cost. So you can say this intercept is total fixed cost. In that fixed cost you have to add a variable cost, but variable means it will vary according to output. So as output will increase, you have to employ more raw material. So your variable cost will also increase, but that is not linear. So that variable cost curve is inverted S in shape. So adding total fixed cost and variable cost, I am drawing total cost curve. That is inverted S in shape. And why it is inverted S? That has to be explained in cost description. But here for the timing, total variable cost curve is inverted S. So total and fixed cost add कर दिया. So you can say it is a graph for total cost, not just variable. Fixed has been added. So it is total cost and total revenue. The intersection of TR and TC, intersection means ये equality होगी. तो अगर equality होगी तो profit 0 हो गया. So at that intersection, profit will be 0. At this point also profit will be 0. Profit is the difference of TR and TC. So you can see here, when total cost is higher and revenue will be less, in that range there will be loss. At this point profit will be 0. In this range, revenue line is above, cost line is below. So that gap is in fact profit. This gap is profit. So this gap is initially increasing. It reaches the maximum and then again it decreases. So if you want to draw a profit curve, profit is the gap, this vertical gap. It initially increases, reaches a maximum and then it decreases. So if you can mark that maximizing point and then plot profit curve, then profit curve will be inverted U in shape. Total revenue minus total cost will be the profit, and this profit curve is inverted U. So what is the profit maximizing output? So profit maximizing output is that output where profit is highest. So profit is highest at this quantity. So you can say this is the equivalent quantity. but technical note में you have written that profit get maximized when MR is equal to MC. So can we say that MR is equal to MC at this quantity? Whether MR is equal to MC at this quantity Q star? Yes, it is. Reason: marginal revenue, I said, is the slope of total revenue, and marginal cost is the slope of total cost. And how to find slope? This total revenue line is straight. So if it is a straight line, its slope is constant at every point. Total cost curve is non-linear, so its slope will be different at different points. So if you want to find slope at this point, you have to draw tangency, and that tangency will be parallel to the total revenue line, which means slope of TR and slope of TC both are same, which means marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So second condition is also satisfied. But in this diagram you are using TR and TC. Geometrically you can say that at the same quantity MR is also equal to MC. So this is the quantity at which profit get maximized. But remember, there are three possibilities. Firm could be making supernormal profit, there could be loss, or there could be only normal profit. So if the question is, you have to show all three conditions separately in diagram. This is one question. So this is the diagram. You can say this is a first diagram for super normal profit. Now second one I will draw for that loss, and third will be that for normal profit. So this is the diagram for supernormal profit, because at the profit maximizing quantity TR is greater than TC. Clear? So copy this first one and then move to the second condition. But remember, loss may you have to show both things, that firm is operating or whether firm is shutting down. And when firm will operate, obviously firm will operate only when firm is having operating profit. So when firm has operating profit, firm will operate. When firm will have operating loss, firm will prefer not to operate. Prices. Output determination, you can draw second diagram for loss. Clearly mention that condition. You will have loss when total revenue is less than total costs, but total revenue must be greater than total variable cost. Only then firm will operate. Due to perfect competition, you draw total revenue line straight, but TC now you have to show greater than TR. So you have to plot it in such a way that total cost line is always greater than total revenue line. Drawing it inverted U. ठीक है, वो कॉस्ट वाले कंसेप्ट में क्लियर हो जाएगा व्हाई यू आर ड्राइंग इट इन्वर्टेड यू. Quantity TR and TC. Now you have to minimize that gap. If profit was there, we were maximizing it. If there is loss, we have to minimize that loss. So just mark that one gap where the gap between TC and TR is minimum. Now show that second condition. Second condition is TR greater than TVC. That means in this case you have to draw total variable cost also. Variable cost will always start from origin. मतलब अगर आप if you are drawing total cost in this form, total variable cost will be parallel to that, because this gap is total fixed cost, and that fixed cost will always remain same. So just use this concept here, parallel to that total cost line, but profit maximizing point पे उसे नीचे रखना है. This is total variable cost. If I mark point here, it is point A, point B and point C. This is the quantity where profit get maximized, but in this condition it is negative, so you are calling it loss. So if in graph you have to mark loss, then loss is distance AB. This distance AB is loss, but despite loss firm is operating because firm is having operating profit, and that operating profit is distance BC. ठीक है, पेपर में भी आप इस तरीके के नोटिंग साइड में कर सकते हैं. ग्राफ बना दिया, उसके बराबर में आपने उसको शो कर दिया कि किस डिस्टेंस को आप प्रॉफिट लॉस कह रहे हैं और कौन सा डिस्टेंस ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट है। तो ऑब्वियसली शट डाउन कब हो जाएगा? शट डाउन होगा जब वेरिएबल कॉस्ट की लाइन भी टोटल रेवेन्यू से ऊपर हो जाएगी, देन दे विल बी शट डाउन। So in this case firm was having loss, but still despite loss firm continue to operate because firm is having that operating profit. So this second diagram is for loss, and you can use that third. So first was for supernormal profit, second is for loss, third is just for normal profit. So when we will have a normal profit, we will have normal profit when total cost line is just tangent on total revenue. This is total revenue line, and now you have to keep that total cost line just tangent. So this is the quantity where firm is having just normal profit, or there is a break even. Axis mark करेंगे TR and TC, and this is quantity. So these are the three possibilities. Remember, in this diagram we have used total revenue and total cost. Now based upon this concept, you can see question number 19. This was question in 2015 mains. 2015. Remember, in all three diagram we have not used average variable cost or average cost curve or average revenue. We have used only total revenue and total cost. Now read question number 19 from 2015. ठीक है, topic wise question, it has been uploaded on portal in the micro section, market structure. Read question number 19. Read this question first. 19th question. It says, under perfect competition in short run, find out graphically without using average cost curve. So it says under perfect competition, so the market is competitive, so you have to draw that TR line straight. Find out graphically, so just graphically description use karna without using average cost curve. So you don't have to use average cost curve in graph. The condition in equilibrium for the existence of normal profit, supernormal profit and loss. So all three conditions you have to show without using average cost curve. So if you are not using average cost curve, you have only one option, use total revenue and total cost approach. You have to use only total revenue and total cost approach. So total revenue and total cost has been applied here. So in this part, normal profit diagram is this one. This is for normal profit, previous one was for loss, and the first one was for supernormal profit. तो आपको ये विदाउट यूजिंग एवरेज कॉस्ट का एक्सप्लेन करना है. हार्डली ये कंपल्सरी क्वेश्चन के अंदर आया था 2015 में. सो 3 पार्ट्स हैं, एंड ब्रीफली यू हैव टू मेंशन सर्टेन पॉइंट्स लाइक व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजिंग कंडीशन. दैट मीन्स जस्ट डोंट ड्रॉ ग्राफ एंड लीव इट. एक्सप्लेन just below the graph, just write one paragraph at least. So what you have to write in paragraph, I will explain that. So just you can take it down. ठीक है, वहाँ ईयर मेंशन कर सकते हैं 2015, और जब आप आंसर से प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो वहाँ भी सेपरेटली यूज़ कीजिएगा. यू कैन ऐड वन पैराग्राफ हियर इन दिस आंसर. द फर्म इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम. द फर्म इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम व्हेन इट मैक्सिमाइजेस इट्स प्रॉफिट. Firm is in equilibrium when it maximizes its profit, which is defined as difference between total revenue and total cost. Difference between total revenue and total cost. So just mention that. What do you mean by profit? So firm is in equilibrium when it maximizes its profit, which is defined as difference between TR and TC. Given that normal rate of profit is included in cost always includes the normal rate of profit. Given that normal rate of profit is included in cost of firm, profit is above the normal rate of return. Profit is above the normal rate of return. And in the next paragraph, equilibrium of firm may be shown graphically. Equilibrium of firm may be shown graphically in two ways, and just mention two approach. First is total revenue total cost approach, and second is MR and MC approach. TR and TC approach and MR and MC approach. Since we are explaining TR and TC, so you are expected to write why you have drawn that total revenue line straight line. So just mention that next paragraph. The total curve is straight line through origin. Total revenue curve is straight line through origin, showing that price is constant. So under perfect competition, since price is constant, that is why you are drawing that total revenue line as straight. Total revenue is a straight line through origin, showing that price is constant. It means that firm is a price taker. Firm is a price taker, and it can sell any amount of output at current market price. It can sell any amount of output at current market price. Just give reason for TR why you have drawn that straight, and now give reason why you are drawing total cost curve as a inverted S. Next paragraph. The total cost curve is inverted S. Total cost curve is inverted S in shape due to law of diminishing return. यहाँ पे सिर्फ इतना लिख दिया, लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न. वो बेसिक कंसेप्ट के अंदर जहाँ एक्सप्लेनेशन है वहाँ से रेफर कर लेंगे व्हाट इज लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न इन प्रोडक्शन, और लेटर ऑन प्रोडक्शन के टॉपिक में भी आएगा, बट हियर फॉर द टाइमिंग इट इज इनफ. इट इज इन्वर्टेड एस इन शेप ड्यू टू लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न इन प्रोडक्शन. लॉ ऑफ डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न इन प्रोडक्शन. नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ कर ले. एज शोन इन डायग्राम 1, अब ये तीनों पार्ट आप अलग अलग मेंशन करते हैं. एज शोन इन डायग्राम 1, at profit maximizing quantity Q star, at profit maximizing quantity Q star, TR is greater than TC. Total revenue greater than TC. You can use symbol, no need to write total revenue complete, just write TR. TR is greater than TC, so it shows supernormal profit. It shows supernormal profit. However, there could be loss for firm in short run. There could be loss for firm in short run. There could be loss for firm in short run. Within bracket you can mention as shown in diagram 2. There could be loss for firm in short run within bracket diagram 2. And yeah, you have to clearly mention why in loss firm is operating. So you have to, apart from showing it graphically, you have to explain that part also. However, despite loss, firm is continuing to operate. Despite loss, firm is continuing to operate because firm is having operating profit. Firm is having operating profit. after comma, as total revenue is greater than total variable cost, as TR is greater than TVC, as TR is greater than TVC. ठीक है, वहाँ पे फर्दर इलेबोरेशन रिक्वायर्ड नहीं है, जस्ट वो टर्म आपको यूज़ करना है, कीवर्ड्स यही होंगे, TR is greater than TVC. Next paragraph. However, there could be only normal profit also. There could be only normal profit also when total cost is just tangent on total revenue. Total cost is just tangent on total revenue. Within bracket diagram 3. So all three cases you have shown. Just for application, suppose if same question comes again with one modification, instead of writing perfect competition it says monopoly, rest is same. So question in that condition you can read as, under monopoly in short run find out graphically without using average cost curve the condition of equilibrium of normal profit, super normal profit and loss. ठीक है, rest is same. और यहाँ perfect competition की जगह monopoly word use हो गया. So everything else will remain same except the total revenue line that we will be taking in the monopoly chapter also. But just for one diagram, if the same question is for monopoly, so in monopoly firm is not a price taker. So if firm is not a price taker, revenue line will not be a straight line. So revenue line in that condition will not be a straight line, rather it increases and then reaches maximum and then falls. ठीक है, that shape will be explaining in monopoly. Rest everything else will remain same. You can dot total cost curve as inverted U, inverted S. This TR equal to TC, profit will be 0 here, profit is 0 here. This vertical gap is profit, so it get maximized here. So this is the quantity where profit get maximized. And if you draw tangency, both tangency will be parallel to each other, implying that MR is also equal to MC. So this will be the diagram for supernormal profit in monopoly. Just the diagram will change, the description will remain same. And if you want to show loss, then draw that total cost line above TR. But in the case of loss, be careful, you have to show operating profit as well. And in the case of just normal profit, keep at total cost curve just tangent on total revenue line. So up to this was your first approach, TR and TC. The second approach is MR and MC approach. Remember इस तरीके के क्वेश्चन जो 15th क्वेश्चन था अभी, इन दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन इफ़ यू आर राइटिंग एक्यूरेटली, जो इफेक्टिव वर्ड्स ज़्यादा लिखना नहीं है, उसके अंदर लेटर से इन टोटलिटी 100 वर्ड्स हो जाएंगे और 3 डायग्राफ का डिस्क्रिप्शन हो जाएगा. इन दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन आउट ऑफ 10 यू मे स्कोर 7.5 ऑल्सो. ठीक है, 100 वो 80-90% मार्क्स नहीं मिलते, सो यू कैन स्कोर मैक्सिमम हेयर 70%. सो इवन इन दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन यू कैन स्कोर 7 or 7.5. So these are, in fact, we can say there will be greater objectivity. Now follow the second approach, which is MR and MC approach. So in the MR and MC approach, you have to write that first paragraph first. The profit of firm get maximized when following two conditions are satisfied. The profit of firm get maximized when following two conditions are satisfied. And you have written those conditions in technical note number 1. First is MC equal to MR, and second, slope of marginal cost is greater than slope of marginal revenue. Slope of MC is greater than slope of MR. Just write down those conditions without using that derivative part. So you can ignore that differentiation part, just remember that condition. And in short run, there could be supernormal profit or there could be loss. So first diagram is for supernormal profit. Now what you can do, draw one diagram for market. So firm is a price taker draw demand and supply, intersection determine price. Since firms are price taker, so price will be equal to average revenue, equal to marginal revenue, already explained before. Now in this case you have to draw average variable cost or average cost. If you are showing supernormal profit, remember price will be greater than average cost. So you have drawn already price line, average cost line will be below average cost line. Marginal will always cut average from the minimum point. So graphically marginal cost line is cutting average cost at the minimum point. मतलब जब कभी आप एवरेज कॉस्ट ड्रॉ करेंगे इसके मिनिमम पॉइंट से आपको मार्जिनल कॉस्ट लाइन ड्रॉ करनी है. एंड these are all U shape and the logic behind all U shape curve is only one, and that is law of diminishing return in production. Now after drawing this part, just recall the condition. What you have written: profit get maximized when MC is equal to MR. So mark that point where MC is equal to MR. You have to mark that point where MC is equal to MR. Equality of MC and MR is here. Intersection point देखना. From that intersection determine quantity. This is the profit. This is the quantity where profit is highest. After that, graphically how to determine the area of profit. For that purpose, can you identify the area of revenue? Revenue is price into quantity. Clear? So price is this into quantity, so you get area of this rectangle. So this complete rectangle, the largest one, is area of revenue. In that, from that revenue you have to subtract total cost. But how to find that total cost? Average cost into quantity. So you know this much is quantity and this is average cost. So this into this rectangle will be the area of cost. So revenue minus cost. Revenue is this larger one, cost is this smaller one. That difference or this rectangle will be the area of supernormal profit. Clear? Graphically, first you have to mark the point where MC is equal to MR, because condition requires equality of MC and MR. So equate that, and after that determine the area of revenue, determine the area of cost, and then difference of revenue and cost will be the area of profit. So according to MR and MC, this first diagram is for supernormal profit, and just below that diagram write one paragraph. At profit maximizing quantity, determined by equality of MC and MR, determined by equality of MC and MR, determined by equality of MC and MR, since price is greater than average cost, since price is greater than average cost, so firm is having supernormal profit. So firm is having supernormal profit. Within bracket you can again mention diagram 1. So this is your first diagram. Next paragraph. However, in short run there could be loss. In short run there could be loss. But firm may continue to operate despite loss. Firm may continue to operate despite loss. If firm earns operating profit, which requires that price is greater than average variable cost, which requires that price is greater than average variable cost, price is greater than average variable cost. अब ये कंडीशन आप एवरेज के टर्म में एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं, तो आप एवरेज वही टर्म यूज़ करना है. सिमिलर डायग्राम, ड्रॉ वन फॉर मार्केट, सेकेंड फॉर फर्म, So intersection of demand and supply curve determine the market price. At that price AR is equal to MR, and as per this condition show it. जैसे आपने condition लिखा उसके accordingly plot कर लेंगे. You have to draw average cost above price line. So draw average cost line above price. But variable cost को price के नीचे रखना है. So keep that variable cost below that price. And from the minimum of both, you have to draw marginal cost line. MC will always cut average at the minimum point. And then recall that condition, MC equal to MR. So MC equal to MR is here, intersection of MC and MR. From that point determine the quantity, and after that determine the area of revenue. Revenue is P into Q. Then determine the area of cost, which is average cost into quantity, and then determine the area of variable cost, which is average variable cost into quantity. और वहाँ से आपको ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट का एरिया मिल जाएगा. सो दिस रेक्टेंगल इज रेवेन्यू एरिया बट कॉस्ट इज हायर. So this larger rectangle is now cost. So this area will be the area of loss. But despite loss, firm is operating as firm is having operating profit. So operating profit is this average variable cost into quantity is total variable cost. So this is your operating profit area. So obviously as you shift average variable cost, this operating profit area will get reduced. So when that area get exhausted, and it will get exhausted when average variable cost is tangent on that line, that horizontal line, and that will be the shutdown point. So long as you are able to see this area, firm will operate despite loss. But if there will be no operating profit, then firm will prefer to shut down. तो shutdown का point कौन सा होगा? जब average variable cost इस price के line पे tangent हो जाए, just tangent on that horizontal line. So this is the area of diagram for loss, and for normal profit it will be just tangent. Average cost, in the case of profit average cost was below, in the case of loss average cost is above, in the case of normal profit it will be just tangent. Clear? So this was description for profit maximizing condition under perfect competition. Now one more topic we can take in this class, because there was one question in 2019, so that you can answer at least 2 questions based upon first class. And the topic or concept involved was marginal cost curve is a supply curve of firm under perfect competition in short run. So this is the concept involved, and based upon that concept you can answer first question. So it says marginal cost curve is supply curve, but first of all, if I have to explain supply curve, then any supply curve is expected to explain what? Supply curve is expected to explain the relationship between price and quantity. So it is P1 Q1 P. Suppose at price P1 quantity supplied is Q1. If price is P2, quantity is Q2. So if you are able to establish such relationship between price and quantity, then based upon that I can draw the supply curve. So why MC is called supply curve of firm, we have to explain that. Now suppose एक लेफ्ट साइड का डायग्राम मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ, यू कैन इग्नोर दैट पार्ट लेटर ऑन, हियर यू कैन ड्रॉ इट. 3 पार्ट ऑन ऑल 3 एक्स एक्सिस पे क्वांटिटी ले रहे हैं. दिस इज डायग्राम फॉर मार्केट, दिस इज डायग्राम फॉर firm, and this is also for firm. So in a market there are many firms. So suppose if this is the demand curve and supply curve was positioned here, their intersection determine the price. Now at that Obviously, as you know, at that price AR is equal to MR. If I draw this average cost line, you can draw average variable cost always below that. MC is passing through the minimum of both. Clear? जैसे अभी डायग्राम में ड्रॉ किया था वैसे ही कर दिया. Now question is that at this price how much quantity will be produced and supplied. So at this price, suppose if I mark that price as P3, MC equal to MR, so quantity produced will be Q3. That means at price P3 quantity produced will be Q3. You get 1 point and mark that this is point lying on that marginal cost curve. So at price P3 quantity supplied is Q3 and firm is having profit because price greater है, average cost कम है. अगर ये प्राइस P3 की जगह P2 होता और डेलिबरेटली इस P2 के प्राइस को आप AC और एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट के बीच रख रहे हैं, बट आप कहोगे कि ये प्राइस क्यों ले रखा है. सपोज मार्केट में नंबर ऑफ फर्म्स अगर ज़्यादा होते, सो इफ मार्केट वुड हैव बीन लार्ज नंबर ऑफ फर्म्स, then price could have been P2. At that price MC equal to MR here, you produce quantity Q2, cost is higher so there is loss, but average variable cost is lower so there is operating profit. So you will continue to operate despite loss. So firm will produce quantity Q2 and sell it at price P2. So I can mark that quantity also. Again you will find this point on MC line. So if price falls continuously and now it is at the lowest point of average variable cost, say P1. So now MC equal to MR, quantity Q1. At that quantity no operating profit. So firm is now indifferent between producing and not producing. So firm may supply, firm may not supply. So at that price, if firm will supply quantity, it will be Q1. But certainly any price below P1 there will be no supply. Any price below P1 there will be no supply because this is the shutdown price. So shutdown price is the minimum of average variable cost. So supply curve is in fact 1 point, second point, third point. If you connect these points, in fact these points are points of marginal cost curve. So you get supply curve which is coinciding with MC line, but it is not the complete marginal cost because marginal cost was below this average variable cost also. So you say that marginal cost curve is supply curve of firm, but which part? Only that part of MC which is above the average variable cost curve, not below the average variable cost curve. So you have to draw MC line which is positively sloped, but it is above the average variable cost curve and not below the. So if you want drawing supply curve, this was P3, this was P2, this is P1. Any price below P1 there will be no supply. No supply means quantity will be 0. So you can mark it as coinciding with vertical axis. This part, and after that this part, this will be the supply curve. Now this concept may be asked theoretically. You have to explain why MC is supply curve. So if the question will be theoretically, you have to explain that. And in previous year mains there was a compulsory question. First question था 2019 के अंदर. Under perfect competition the cost function is given as, cost का function given है y square plus 1. It is y square plus 1 where y is output, मतलब q की जगह y output है. Derive the inverse supply curve and show how supply curve looks like. So under competition total cost given है, आपको supply curve explain करना, but you know from concept that marginal cost curve is supply curve. So this is the total cost. From that total cost you have to draw, calculate marginal cost and P equal to MC करेंगे तो supply curve आ जाएगा. So I will explain this part, but before answering this, just write down the theoretical part. What you will mention that why MC is called the supply curve of firm. Write that part and then you will be solving this question. So write that part first. Supply curve explains. I am giving description for this graph. Supply curve explains relationship between price and quantity supplied price and quantity supplied. So for a competitive firm in short run, supply curve is marginal cost curve. For a competitive firm in short run, supply curve is marginal cost curve. But it is not the entire marginal cost curve. Full stop. In fact, it is only that part of marginal cost curve. Which lies above average variable cost curve. Underline that. In fact, it is only that part of marginal cost curve which lies above average variable cost curve. This is because, give reason here, this is because when MC is less than AVC, then equating price with marginal cost implies that price is less than AVC. जो part MC का below AVC है, if you are equating price with MC, it means price will also be less than AVC. But price less than AVC means operating loss, and that is why firm prefer to shut down the business. So based upon this concept, we have to attempt one question, and that question was asked in last year mains 2019. So marginal cost curve is supply curve of firm under perfect competition in short run. So this was a theoretical topic, and based upon that attempt one question of 2019. So you can write 2019 question number 1 and read that question first. First one. Under competition, the cost function is given as cost is equal to y square plus 1, where y is output. So in place of q, it is written y. Derive the inverse supply curve and show how inverse supply curve looks like. That means you have to draw supply curve and plot it in fact graphically. So cost function is given. We have to derive the inverse supply curve and show the supply curve, how supply curve looks like. So from theory, you know that marginal cost curve is the supply curve. So from that total cost curve, you have to calculate marginal cost curve. That is only the mathematical part involved. So from this total cost curve, derive the marginal cost curve, and marginal cost curve is supply curve. So just write P equal to MC. So even in this type of question, जो content इससे पहले लिखा है कि y marginal cost curve is supply curve, you are expected to write that part. So just copy this cost function, write inverse supply curve and plot that inverse supply curve. So cost function is y square plus 1. So cost as a function of output is written as y square plus 1. So from that total cost, first of all calculate, or you can write it in this form also, total cost is equal to y square plus 1. From total cost you can calculate marginal cost. तो क्लास के बिगिनिंग में जैसे एक्सप्लेन किया, we can calculate marginal cost from total cost by differentiating total cost. So if you differentiate that total cost function with respect to output, तो y स्क्वायर का डिफ्रेंसिएशन हो गया 2y, ठीक है, पावर से मल्टीप्लाई किया, पावर से 1 माइनस किया, कांस्टेंट नंबर इज 1, इट्स डेरिवेटिव विल बी 0. So simple derivative of that total cost gives you marginal cost. And when you write supply curve, write P equal to MC, and in place of that marginal cost write 2y. Y is output. So this is your inverse supply curve, and plot that inverse supply curve graphically. So on vertical axis price, on horizontal axis output, or you can write y. relationship plot करने के लिए suppose if output will be 1 then what will be the price? In place of output if you write 1 then price for that output will be 2. Price for that output will be 2. So for 1 unit of output price will be 2. For 2 unit of output price will be 4. So there will be a linear relationship. Starting from origin, draw a straight line and mark 1 or 2 points. 2 unit of output price will be 4. So this is your supply curve which is coinciding with the marginal cost curve, and it is not the entire marginal cost curve which is supply curve, only that part of MC which is above the average variable cost. So clearly this will be above the average variable cost, because what will be variable cost here? Y square is variable cost. तो अगर हमने इसको y को आउटपुट से डिवाइड किया मतलब y से डिवाइड कर लिया, देन इट विल बी ओनली y. तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट जो एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट होगा वो 1 के स्लोप पे होगा, जब whereas the slope of this line is 2, so it is clearly greater than the average variable cost. Now when I say inverse supply curve, read that question again. It says derive the inverse supply curve and show how supply curve looks like. So you have drawn that supply curve. Now what is the meaning of inverse supply curve and what is direct supply curve? When you say supply curve, then supply curve explains relation between output and price. So when you say output as a function of price, quantity as a function of price, then it is direct supply curve. And when I say price as a function of output, then it is inverse supply curve. So clearly this P equal to 2y itself is inverse supply curve, no need to change it. But अगर आप इसी इक्वेशन को y के टर्म में लिखें, y equal to P by 2, then it will be called direct supply curve. But the requirement of question was you have to write the inverse supply curve. So in these type of question, just don't but in an compulsory question, just don't present it only mathematically. You have to show it, but apart from that you are expected to explain why marginal cost curve is supply curve under perfect competition. So explain that part and then show that you from that total cost you have calculated from that total cost you have calculated marginal cost curve, and P equal to MC is your supply curve, because supply curve is explaining relation between price and output. So equation must be in terms of P and Y, price और output के term में आना, ठीक है. So in this type of question basically you can score more in the sense out of 10 you can get 7 or 7.5. Usually obviously 8 or 9 marks मिलते ही नहीं किसी क्वेश्चन के अंदर. So at the maximum you are expected to get 7 or 7.5. So based upon today's class you can answer question number 1, this part of 2019, and one question we attempted was question number 19 under perfect competition shorten. So first question and 19th question, these two questions. So in this first class basically we have done or we have started with the market structure, and in that market structure we are doing perfect competition. So we started with micro, and in micro we are doing perfect competition form. So perfect competition will continue in the second class. Now one more thing that I will explain in this first class. Now those students who are appearing in 2020, still prelims date has not been finalized, so it was expected or to be announced on 5th of June. So today is 25th of May. Your prelims or PT will be tentatively it will be in July 2020, most probably third week या fourth week के आसपास expected है, and mains could be in the month of November or December for 2020. So you are getting some extra time, so use this lockdown period or this delayed in exam. So you are getting basically 1.5 months extra, 1 or 2 months. Now those students who are appearing for 2021, उनके लिए कोई शेड्यूल में डिले नहीं होगा. So I hope from next year it will be on schedule. So today is say 25th of May 2020. This batch will be taking around 4 or 4.5 months. So by the month of say October or latest by November, complete your optional paper first. Then from December or November December onwards till your May 2021, focus mainly on general studies part. So you have done with your optional, and then shift focus to general studies and prelims part. And after that prelims, since you have done with your optional and GS, after prelims you have to basically focus mainly on test for optional, test for general studies, because prelims और mains के बीच जो time gap होता है वो कम रहेगा. So even if you are preparing for next year, the time to cover optional is right now. So in the from May June to October November, your option should be ready. So what you have to do basically that you have to cover the content जो स्टडी मटेरियल के फॉर्म में मिलना है, and write 2 question on a daily basis. So if you are writing 2 question on a daily basis, it will be giving you a good practice. Apart from test will start once the prelims date will be announced for 2020. So since it is expected to be announced, so July, in the month of July, test series will also commence. So you have to write your test whether you are appearing for 2020 or whether you are appearing for 2021. The test series will remain same. So test series will scheduled, tentative date is 5th of July. If you have any doubt with related to that class, you can call me directly on this number 9811 343411. So this is basically class of online and offline both. ठीक है, जैसे ये गवर्नमेंट रिस्ट्रिक्शन ओवर हो जाता है तो ये सेम क्लास ऑफलाइन के फॉर्म में भी कंटिन्यू हो जाएगी. एक बैच इसी क्लास के साथ कंटिन्यू रहेगा और एक न्यू बैच होगा. ऑफलाइन में यू हैव डिफरेंट बैचेस, बट इन ऑनलाइन देयर विल बी ओनली one batch. So this batch will continue. So this was class number 1. We'll continue with class number 2 tomorrow. Okay, thank you.